Hello, fellow architects. Today we are going to have commentary for our Panthers versus Cincinnati Bengals game. And in this game, we are coming in at 4-2. We've kind of had a few rough spots throughout the season, which is expected with a first-year defense. But the number one thing I'm really concentrating on is the turnovers. We are currently number one in the league in turnovers. However, we are nearly last in total yards because we're giving up a lot of yards. We're pretty much a gambling team. We like gambling a lot. So a lot of the guys like going for picks. A lot of guys like to kind of, go straight at the quarterback, things of that nature. A lot of these guys are still falling for play action fakes and such. So it's a very aggressive defense that I have. We play the run pretty well, but, every now and then, depending on who we're playing, we tend to give up a lot of yards to certain players, give up a lot of run yards against running backs and such. And part of the reason is because we're trying to force the quarterback to drive against us. So that means that a lot of time is going to be wasted against us trying to go down the field with us. We try our best not to give up big plays, but every now and then the quarterback will take advantage of certain blown coverages and things that we do sometimes because we are kind of mixing things up a lot. We're mixing up a lot of looks, a lot of audibling going on and such. So there's a lot to clean up and fix. Just like that hole there in the seams that you just saw in the seam. The quarterback got rid of the ball fairly quickly there because there was a hole in the defense there in our zone, and I believe I was playing the zone blitz there. A lot of times, I will admit that a lot of times we are audibling quite often. So a lot of times we are just back and forth going through our plays and going through a whole bunch of our audible packages, and it's very rare that I do choose a play and I kind of stick to that look only if I'm trying to show that look once or twice, so that when I show it again I can change it up to a different play with a similar look, kind of throw the quarterback off his course. Yeah, see, those are the things we have to clean up there with, as you can see, with that, what appears to be the same play that they are choosing against a particular look, and the quarterback is getting rid of the ball very fast, only because our defense is pretty fast and pretty quick ourselves, so they're choosing plays to get rid of the ball very, very quickly. And we're going to have to, in the future, against other quarterbacks, we're going to have to really be very more methodical about our blitz packages and our audible packages and such, so that we can get some picks in there and or get to the quarterback to get a strip sack or something. Which is what this team is really good at. I'm really enjoying this Panther team, even though we're nearly at the bottom of the pack in total yards. Everything else is pretty much good. I mean, we're very good against the run. We're like top 10 against the run. We're number one in takeaways, like I said, number one in interceptions, takeaways. Really takeaways, period. That's where we're number one. So we get fumbles, we get interceptions, and such. So Our red zone defense is pretty funny. We do get sacks. We are like in the top 15 in sacks, I believe. But a lot of the sacks are coverage sacks because I'm still building the defensive line. The defensive line is still building, and I'm still upgrading them so that I can make them so good that we don't have to blitz so often, even in the run. So which is always my main goal with these defenses. I want the front seven to be so strong to the point where we won't have to blitz as much or blitz at all. So that was a pretty good stop there, stopping them in the red zone. So we only held them to 3 points. So that's pretty good. I'm proud of them for that. So now we're going to, we scored on offense. And so now we're up 7-3, giving the Bengals the ball back. And the thing about playing against the AI is, that at some point, at some point in the game or throughout the game, you're going to have to stave off, some cheese going on in the game. So there's always going to be Madden cheese. That's never going to stop. So I know that a lot of people get really frustrated with Madden and the CPU and the AI logic and things of that nature. But there are ways to press through that, and there are ways to get around that, which I will share throughout the games that I do commentary on. I will share those nuggets and share those hacks and such. But a lot of times it really comes down to play calling, and it comes down to your play call style and your defensive style, scheme, things of that nature. So basically saying you're going to have to treat the defense with as much care as you do your offense. And this is where a lot of people kind of, go awry because they are not really putting as much concentration on the defense as they are on the offense. So because offense is a lot more fun to play. I will admit that. A lot of times offense, because of the things that you're able to do on offense, a lot of the shifting and a lot of the motions and bunches, trips, and all kinds of stuff that you can, all kinds of looks and all kinds of stuff that you can create to kind of throw the AI off balance. So offense to a lot of people is a lot more fun, but I love defense, period. I love watching defense when I'm watching NFL games, and and I think that defenses have just as much talent as the offense. Watching these NFL games and such, and because of the rules, though, the rules sort of sway the favor into the offense naturally, but there's some really talented defenses out there. So we're back in the red zone again, and this gets a little bit frustrating, when you are kind of being driven down the field, only because the AI at times throws the ball in such tight windows when they're throwing the ball, and other times when they're running, they kind of break out to these big runs, and you really don't have much of a chance sometimes to catch up. And this is a case in point right here, where we nearly get to the quarterback, and they get rid of the ball with such velocity to the open guy to score. And a lot of plays and a lot of different situations. There are situations where you can't really do much of anything about it, and then there are other situations where there's just a blown coverage here, a blown coverage there, and those things are going to occur throughout the game. Okay, so you have to kind of take these situations with a grain of salt, kind of the same way on offense. When you're playing offense, there are going to be times where, you're going to get stuffed. Your runs are going to get stuffed where, your balls are going to get batted down in places you wouldn't have expected them to get batted down. There's a lot of stuff going on in Madden that you're going to have to sort of navigate. And defense is certainly no stranger to a lot of gaffes and glitches, a lot of different things. But, again, there are ways to work around that, and there are certain things you can do. This was a really good audible. I like that. That really set up a good play on the ball from my corner. So, I was really happy with that play there when number 3 kind of batted the ball away. And these are the reason why I do these looks and the reason why I change up a lot. As you can see here too, the offense is trying to shift and throw me off balance, but I have plays and I have audibles and audible packages to support most looks, to support most situations on the field, on the fly. So even though they got a first down there, there wasn't a big play given up. Okay, they had to throw it underneath. And that's what I want. I want them to throw it underneath, and that's a phenomenal play right there from my other corner on the other side. Really getting to that flat very quickly, and that's the magic of really good defense and throwing the quarterback off to force him to throw to certain spots in certain situations, and that was a perfect situation there. Really good stuff. Really good run stuff right there, stuffing the run. My safety was there to support, so that was really good and awesome there. And the thing about it is, when you are playing defense, you're going to have to mix things up. You cannot have a static defense. You cannot just choose a play and just hope for the best and just wait for something to happen. You have to shift things around so you can get a sack, just like right here. I got a coverage sack on third down to create that fourth down play. To create a fourth down situation, I should say. These are the kind of situations that you want to find yourself in. You want to shift the offense. You want to be on the offensive on defense. Okay, so shifting and audibling and moving around really forces the offense to make certain decisions. Even though it's AI and it's the computer, it's basing its decisions around certain situations and certain looks and where they're trying to get the ball to. So you can actually manipulate that by choosing and audibling to certain plays where you can kind of have an idea of where the ball is going to go. And that's a bad play there. It was a first down anyway, but just jumping off sides and all that kind of stuff. We just can't have that. But yeah, I like to do a lot of different looks. I really love zone blitzing. I really love zone blitzing because of that result right there. I did audible to my favorite. I think it's called the zone linebacker blitz in the 4-3 package, and I like to do a lot of the what they call it, the over edge blitzing, zone blitzing. I like to do that quite often because my front 4 and sometimes my front 7 period are pretty quick and pretty fast to the quarterback. So I like to, choose those particular plays in certain situations. I don't do it every single time, but I do it enough. And sometimes it does bite me in the butt because the quarterback does throw the ball very quickly to those open spots. And I like that last sequence with us getting those stops and getting off the field, which is what it's about. We were able to score again on offense, and now we're up 23-10, and they're playing from behind, which means we're about to have some fun time now on defense because they're going to pass the ball a lot, which means that we're going to have opportunities to get some picks. I'm not sure if you paid attention to the top too, but um, the quarterback is only throwing for 134 passing yards. So every time I see that, I'm very pleased because it means that we're controlling the game, we're controlling where the ball is going, we're controlling everything on the field, and we're not playing on our heels. Okay, so we audibled some more. I think I went to my linebacker zone blitz there. I think I shifted to audible to that defense. But now I'm audibling to my cover 3, and boom, interception. And see, what happened there was when you are able to blitz and use different looks, and use different zone packages and different blitz packages, you can show them man blitzing and zone blitzing and then go to a straight zone or go to a straight man-to-man, and that'll cause the AI quarterback to kind of perform the same sort of habits that they've been doing the whole game, which is, those quick zip passes and those quick slants and stuff like that, and to bit them in the butt. Yeah, and see right there, that's what I'm talking about when I say that a lot of times we do a lot of gambling when we're out here playing on defense. So my corner tried to go for a pick. So it was like they were standing there, they were waiting, and the quarterback zipped the ball through that hole, like between my safety and my corner. The corner was there. If his timing was better, he would have picked it off. But sometimes when sometimes when you don't get those big plays you want, the offense makes a big play, and that's what happened there. So I think he went out and ran, I don't know, what was that, for like 60-something yards? So that was like a 60-something yard touchdown. So that was a blown situation. It's good defense there. I like that. I love stuffing runs. I love stifling runs, because it means that they really can't do much of anything but pass. And when they pass, that means that they are opening themselves up for more turnovers. And that's what I love, and that's why I'm number 1 in the league in turnovers, forced turnovers, because we put a lot of quarterbacks in these situations where they have to pass, and they got to zip the ball out like he did right there. He had to zip that ball out because he's trying to refrain from throwing into coverage. So he's trying to throw into these holes, into these gaps, and that causes him to hold the ball a little longer if there's nothing there, which means we get a sack, which is what we got in the prior play. And a lot of times in late games, there is such a thing. I'm not sure if other individuals mention this or not, but there is such a thing as the late game cheese. See, we try to gamble there, try to get a pick there, but there is such a thing as late game cheese, where in the last 2 minutes, or the 2-minute drill, their 2-minute offense, they're making every pass, just everything is happening, and they're just driving right down the field, which is what you're seeing right now. That was a beautiful play right there from our corner. But yeah, that it's very real. Much like the 90-yard drive cheese that tends to happen almost every time you pin them back to like their own, when you punt and pin them back to like their own 20 to 10-yard line and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they drive all the way down the field for 90 yards. That happens almost, I would say, about 75% of the time that happens. But they're running out of time here, so they don't really have much time to make a play. So now they got to use their Hail Mary offense, and that means it's curtains because they're not going to get a play over us in the Hail Mary, so it's just not happening. So that was a bat down, so he didn't catch that. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game. They didn't really get anything here. Did they catch the ball here? No, they didn't catch anything here. Yeah, so that was another bat down. Almost same exact situation as the last play. But yeah, so we won this game 23-17. We gave up one big play earlier in the game, and that